What's going on, everybody? My name is Jeremy Dubner. This is my story. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland. Grew up in the hood, as you would call it. Uh, Saw a lot of bad things. My mom was a church woman. I lived the life of everybody else that lived, living in the hood, coming up out from nothing. So I know what it's like to have nothing and still make through. But beyond that, beyond the point, my mom, she was a single mom. She took care of me, my brother, and my two sisters. And sooner or later, life caught up to her. I've seen her in a puddle of her own blood. She tried to kill herself at one time. I've seen her drinking. She was a church woman, but she let the devil get a hold of her. And at that time, she got too overwhelmed and couldn't take care of us. So me and my brother and sisters, we came down here to Nebraska, which is where I'm at right now. I'm in the capital, capital of Lincoln, Nebraska, and decided to stay down here with my stepdad, my brother, and my two sisters. And I'm not gonna say life was easy. Life sucked. I hated my stepdad to begin with. He treated my family like crap. I seen him one time, tie up my sister with duct tape. I seen him duct tape up my dog, throw my mom out the house and into the street. Like I've seen him do so much harm to my family, and to have to sit there and have to live with him just made it twice as hard. But at the end of the day, I had to do what I had to do. So beyond that, they had decided one time to just up and leave while I was at the end of high school, and left me here, and went back to Baltimore, Maryland, and I was homeless at the time. So at the time, I ended up meeting a good friend who I still know to this day, Andrew Bambro, and I moved in with their family, and I saw all the pain and pressure from them too. His stepdad, he always drank all the time, and he was abusive to Andrew's mom, and I just saw all the pain and all the hurt that happened at that house. And sooner or later, it just got to me, and I had to end up leaving. So I ended up going back to the street, and at this time, I ended up moving in with this dude. I went to the mission. I met this dude that was Jamaican. And he was like, "Hey, I got a roommate, I need somebody to place to stay." So I'm like, "All right, got me a job, got me a little roommate, and finally getting myself together. Life was going good, and then the devil said, "Nah, it's not gonna happen." One night, I woke up at like 3 o'clock in the morning, somebody jingling the handle at my roommate's house, and so I go wake him up. I'm like, "Hey, man, somebody at your door, bro." And he goes, and he looks out the window, and he's like, "Oh, it's my friends." And remember this thing, not all your friends are your friends. Some people can be snakes in the grass just waiting to bite your ass. And that's basically what happened. The dude swung, once he opened the door, dude hit the door, started swinging the knife, man. I'll never forget seeing his blood go across the wall. It's something, it's hard to keep that out of my head sometimes. I have nightmares about this shit. But at the end of the day, I got a life I gotta live, and I got things and goals, and I ain't gonna let that stop me. But beyond that, though, the dude came up to me and he asked me after he stabbed him like 17 times. He hit the ground. Dude comes up and asks me, "Where's the money at?" I'm like, "I don't know where the money at. I don't even know this dude." And he didn't care. He stabbed me right in the chest. I got I got the scar to prove it, you know. And it's hard for me to even show this, but my life is out there. I'm trying to show people that you can overcome anything. And I overcame death. I woke up the next day to the nurses telling me that I almost died. Basically, I was gone for 5 minutes and that they were getting ready to pull the plug on me. So I came back only to just keep struggling. But I've never given up. I've never given up, and I never will. I met my wife not that long after, like literally a couple months after that, and I got kids now. Things are going good. Got my own lawn care business. But then one day last year, August 24th, that almost all came to an end. Basically, Me and my wife were driving, just picked up the kids from school. You know, I had to go get an oil change in my truck. And it took me forever to do it. And that one day I decided I need to get an oil change was the day that a lady ran a stop sign, hit my truck, and flipped us with my kids and my wife in the truck. That was the one day I felt like I almost lost everything. I lost my lawn care business. I mean, I didn't lose my business, but I lost all my equipment. I lost my truck, which was a almost $30,000 truck, only to just be given 1,500 to go and get a shitty vehicle that barely gets me by. But at the end of the day, it still gets me by. So I don't allow that to ruin my day or my happiness. But back to the accident at hand, you know, we had got flipped and we hit a pole, and my kids were in the back seat, both had their seatbelts on. So I turn around, I look back at them, and I see that they're still alive. So I'm happy, you know. So I jump in the back seat. I open up the back door. The back door was pushed in from being hit so hard. So I don't know how I did it, but I pushed the door out, and I remember these ladies coming up and helping me get my kids out, and I jumped out the top of the truck. I go to the front of the truck. My wife's sitting there in the windshield, not like in the windshield, but sitting there bleeding, and I couldn't get to her. She was trapped. So this guy comes out of nowhere and he jumps on the top of the truck and he kicks the windshield until he kicked it out, so I could take my shirt off and wrap it around her hand because she was bleeding so much. Like the entire truck just covered with blood. And, you know, seeing all that much blood, you know, as much things as I've been through in my past already, it just triggered all that. It triggered my PTSD. It triggered so much pain and anger and frustration. And to not know where she was bleeding from, to not know if like she was gonna make it, you know, the ambulance come and they picked us all up. They separated me, my wife, my kids.
Mom getting trapped.
She got trapped.
Mm-hmm.
And what did you feel about that? How did that make you feel?
Sad.
Everything was just disaster. And when I get to the hospital, the first thing I get is a police coming in my fucking room telling me a ticket because I didn't have insurance. And I didn't have insurance because at the time my wife didn't have a job and we were just trying to get on our feet and trying to pay bills, and just shit just caught up with me. And I've had to basically start over. But you know what? Every day we are all going to focus on our past and we're going to let it affect us. But what you need to do is let your past define your future. If you've had a fucked up past, you need to have a great life. You need to move past it. Let that define your future. Don't let it destroy your future, because if you live in the past for too long, you'll spend your whole life realizing you didn't do nothing to change it. And that's what I'm gonna do. Right now, I'm working on becoming a photographer. I'm working on getting back into music. I'm working on, motivation. I'm working on just trying to preach to the world that anybody can do anything and anything is possible. You don't have to go to school to make a living. You don't have to be smart to make money. You don't have to do anything that somebody tells you to do. You are your own person. You know, I watched a video the other day. Will Smith said something about uh, we create our own happiness. It's not the people around us. You can go around, you can be acting happy, but at the end of the day, are you truly happy? That's a question you have to ask yourself. You know, and I'm gonna wrap this video up with basically telling you guys, at the end of the day, what makes you happy? It's not the person that you're with, it's not the person that you're around. You yourself have to look inside yourself to find what really makes you, you. Have a good day.